How helpless are women in Afghanistan? The Taliban's new rules have stripped them of almost all their freedom. They are not allowed to speak in public. Even conversations with female friends must be whispered. They can only leave home with a male guardian and must be completely covered in heavy burqas, with not a single strand of hair visible. Even female news anchors on TV are required to wear masks and headscarves. They are banned from education beyond primary school and cannot work in non-governmental organizations. Worse yet, if they fall ill, they cannot be treated by male doctors, and female doctors are extremely rare, meaning many women are left without medical care. Even access to public restrooms is restricted, and their home windows must be opaque, so outsiders cannot see that women live there. Afghanistan was once a place where women could study, work, and enjoy freedom. But now, the only glimpse they have of the world is through the mesh of their burqas.
I want to get into this topic, but I'm going to do a little bit different, and I'm not going to get on the case of women in this situation. I'm going to show the women how men operate. Matter of fact, I'm going to start with animals, then human men, and then I'm going to show you the difference. But who sets the standards? Who sets the standards? Now, wolves, they come in packs, right? Gorillas and baboons, they have troops, right? So let's talk about the animal real quick. The animal who is strongest will usually get the pride of women, usually get first pick of everything, usually get the food first taste of the great meats and the food, right? But he has a purpose. His purpose is to protect his pride, his troops, and give them directions of what to do, right? So there's a chain of command, and there's a standard to be set unless another alpha animal decides to say, you're not strong enough anymore, and I'm going to take the pride. I'm going to be the leader of this pack or these troops. That's simple stuff. It's all about brute force and who could beat their chest the strongest and show their teeth the loudest, right? To say, okay, I'll back off and you could be in control for now. But those youngins will grow up and test that leader, right? But it's all about brute force. So they set the standard. The male gets first dibs of the women, the first dibs of the food, and he gives directions to his troops and his pack. Yeah. Now let's talk about the human man. Now, let me just do it individually, right? Let's say we in jail, right? And I'm a strong dude, but somebody comes along stronger, right? I'm just being honest. And he's saying all kinds of gibberish shit, and, you know, he's throwing his weight around, and he's trying to throw his weight on me, and he's trying to say that this is what it is. Now, I don't care about his mentality, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. He has brute force. And if I can't conquer his brute force, whether his values are right or wrong, he could bust me in my mouth and break all my teeth. Okay? Brute force will overcome rights. Whether he's right or wrong on what his beliefs, or if he's right or wrong on a topic. If we about to shake and bake, and he busts me down, beat me down, whether my values are right or my reasoning is right, doesn't matter. His brute force is right, not what comes out his mouth, right? So he could be wrong all day. That's just the natural way of order, okay? So I had to use myself as the weak link, and he's the strongest link, right? So now when you have a tribe of men, right? Or in a society, a mob or whatever, sometimes you will see the smallest man with the biggest goons and the brutes in the back. And you be like, this don't look right. Well, you're right, it doesn't look right, but this man has the pull and the connect. That's what it is. And he's probably more intelligent and strategic. But he's still weak. And if he don't feed those dogs in the back, they would devour him. So he got something over them. They need something that he has. He's very strategic. He knows how to pull the money in. He has to connect. They work for him. He's the smallest man, and he feeds those dogs, and they protect him. And he has troops over here, and he has packs over here, just in case these troops don't act right. So he have levels to this, because he got the pull, and he got the connect. So you see these sometimes, the smallest man with the goons in the back. It's not always brute force, right? That could lead, right? It's always intellectual, but you're better, if you don't have brute force and intellectual, you better have all the intellectual if you don't have the brute force. This is the way I see it. I'm sorry, okay? And I'm using simple words because I'm a simple man, okay? And sometimes I get stuck, right? So this is how I see in society. Now, men that has brute force and intelligent or whatever, or just, they set the standard and how they want things because they're the leader of the pack. So we see it with animals, we see it with men, that they set the standard in jail, wherever, it doesn't matter. They set the standard. Okay, so now women, this is what I'm going to do now. I'm coming to you. So now as you see, I'm showing you how animals and men set the standards upon their own species. Had nothing to do with you. I'm talking about man on man and animal on animal. Now, didn't we go to Afghanistan to fight some war? But who's still on top over there? The Taliban, aren't they? So I guess we lost. Because there wasn't no regime changing the regime or whatever, and put somebody in place so it could be democracy and things like that. And I think in that video that I just showed, it said that women used to do this and used to do that, but the Taliban took over and put them back in a certain place. Now, do I agree with that place? No, I think it's too extreme. But I also see that when it's too extreme on one side, now I can understand the other side. Doesn't mean the other side is right. I just can understand it. Because the Western side shows me why they do the things they do over there. Now, let me move on with morals. Here's the breakdown. Stoning for adultery. Under a strict interpretation of Shariah's law, adultery is considered a serious crime, hudud, with punishment ranging from lashing to death by stoning depending on the marital status. Taliban's application. The Taliban has historically imposed these punishments, including stoning and public flogging, on both, keyword, on both men and women for alleged adultery and other, keyword, moral crimes. Now, there's a disproportionate impact on women. That means it happens more to women. It is crucial to note that women are disproportionately targeted and affected by the Taliban's interpretation of Shariah's law and its application of these punishments, including stoning. Okay? Now, Taliban publicized flogged 63 Afghanistan men and women for crimes such as immoral relationships. June 4th, 2024, it says 4:07 p.m. So what they do is do public stoning and public lashing. And when you break the morals, the moral laws, not the laws of the land, well, you're publicized for everybody to see. And to remind the sheep in the herd that when you get out of line and you break these morals, there's consequences. And you have to see it to believe it. So your mind can understand it. Not talk it, but see it to believe the action. To understand that don't let your mind play tricks on you, right? And you end up doing something. You need to see this. So whether it's right or wrong, the man on top set the standards for the women in that nation, that country. Do you understand me? So over here, the man on the top is setting the standards for the women. And over there, it's not just women that was getting their ass lashed and stoned, it's also men. Yes, it's a majority of women, but there's also men that got to be put in their place. So men are putting men in their place when they break moral laws. See what I'm saying? So like I said, let's just keep it straight. And This is about setting the standard and the law of the land and the morals. And who does that? Men. Women do not do that. If it hurts your feelings, go get therapy. Or you could debate about it, women. You could debate about it. Feel like you picking on them when you're trying to show them reason and facts. And that's why I made women last, and I made animals and men put another men in their place first before I got to women. But for some reason, when you get to women, something clicks in their head and they feel like men are against women. It's all about you, right? All right, so this is about who set the standards for everybody. The elderly, the young kids, the young men that's not ready to be men, and women. Whoever's on top, that's the strongest, has the pull, has the connect, has the money to lobby, to set certain... These are the men, the elite. These are the people in our country that make laws that sometimes we just don't understand. And sometimes we feel as men, it's not right. Yeah. Listen, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here for you to read between the lines. It's not what they say, it's what they're not saying. I mix the lies with the truth and the truth with the lies. At the end of the day, you love lies and you hate the truth. Gone.